Do you want to let Laura know too, Sue? Please.
Yeah, bring Brian and Robin in as well.
Yes. I'm sorry. Everybody on?
And Laura is.
Yeah. We can start.
Sure.
We can start while she's coming.
Oh yeah. Are you back?
Yeah, as soon as she gets in. Who's that on the bottom? They have like a board in their picture. See that?
John Barlow.
No, he has to have people.
Check.
Do you see that or is it me?
No, I can't see it now. His head's in the middle of it.
She's just getting everybody back on the line.
We're good.
We're good. The live stream's up too. Okay.
Turn that off.
Okay, declare that the board is in open session at 7:41 p.m. And we'll move right into the superintendent's report.
I just want to, excuse me, just want to thank everyone on my staff, at the school sites, just everywhere. I think they're doing an absolutely phenomenal job. I think just to echo what Carrie and Maggie and Sandy were saying at the very beginning, everybody is working so hard. It's been a learning experience for all of us and everybody stepped up to the plate. I just want to give a special thank you to two groups, central office staff, in particular, my administrators. I do have to tell you, just do a quick story. Not too long ago, when I was an assistant superintendent here, there was a vendor who came, and it was probably around December. And that year was pretty difficult. And the vendor said, well, I'm here to see the director of special ed. And I said, we don't have one. And that person said, well, how about if I see the HR person? And I said, well, that person doesn't start till January. And they said, well, how about if I could see the interim business manager? And I said, you know, we're in between interim business managers. And then they said, well, is a superintendent here? And I said, well, no, she's not here right now. And then they said, well, who are you? And I said, well, I'm the assistant superintendent. And they said, well, can't you meet with me? I said, no, because I'm busy, you know, making sure that the rest of this is running. So I just have to say, I am so appreciative of my director of special ed, my assistant superintendent, my interim business manager, my HR director, my assistant director of academic intervention, because these are phenomenal, amazing people. During this time, the IT people have been here day in, day out. They have changed chargers. They have given out laptops. They have given out laptops with me in the sleet and the snow. They have found ways to do incredible, absolutely amazing things. And that's with our grant writer. That's with my secretary who gives out laptops every day. She delivers laptops. She delivers groceries. She does it all. And I just have to say, I think that's echoed throughout the district with our custodial staff, with all of our other folks. So lest we forget that not too long ago, we did not have any of these pieces in place. John Barlow, a new amazing addition to the administrative team here. I am so appreciative of all of these people, and I could not do this job without them. So thank you so much to all of them and all of the folks who are doing an amazing job at the sites. They help keep our district not only just functioning, but now getting to a place where we really can be thriving and moving forward. So with that, I'm gonna have Laura just give an update and Sue give a quick update, and then we can move on.
Okay, well, it's hard to follow Sue, but I do have some positives to give you about how things are going in student services. I haven't provided an update since we got out as far as our numbers go, so I thought it'd be a good idea to try to get a handle on where we are. So at this point, we have exited we've exited a couple more students, so we are up to 51 exits this year. Those are kids that no longer require special education. So we're very excited about that. Our outplacement percentage is now down to 10.7%. We're below the state average, so we're excited about that. Our overall special ed numbers are down 7 since March, so we're down to 840 now. So those are some exciting things. You hear me okay? Okay. So as far as our kids coming in, they keep on coming. We're up to 98 children that have moved into Torrington with an IEP. 33 have moved out. So we are still at about a 1-to-3 ratio. We've been there pretty much all year. One of the things that I did was I took the survey data, the survey that went out to the parents, and we pulled out the special education students, the parents that responded. And I wanted to see how they felt we were doing with distance learning from special ed. So we really got some very nice responses. One of the questions was the amount of support received from the special education teacher and/or related service provider is, and 74% of the parents said it was just right. The amount of communication I received from my child's special ed, from my child's school is 88% just right. My child is able to complete their distance learning assignments with, there was either no support, some support, or much support. 84% of the students receiving special ed are able to complete their distance learning either independently or with little support. So that was exciting. 16% felt they needed a lot of support, but those were primarily elementary and primarily more of our more disabled children that need more support to complete their work anyway. And then the last thing was my child's participation in distance learning can best be described as, and they had a choice of highly dedicated, consistently trying, not engaged in their learning, or they were impacted by issues with technology, COVID, et cetera. 85% of our special ed students are either highly dedicated or consistently trying according to their parents with distance learning. Yeah. So I feel pretty good about where we are. I think it's been a challenge. I think the staff has really stepped up, as everybody said, and I'm really proud of them. And our paras have jumped in and they're doing instructional support as well. So things are going well. Our next challenge is ESY, and Sue and myself and the entire state are working on what that's going to look like right now. So that's it for me.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
A lot of successes. Thank you, Laura.
Sure.
And Sue?
My turn. Hi, everyone. So the good news is that on March 12th, we were about as far from a flipped classroom model as we could possibly have been. Yet in spite of that, we were able to transition to remote learning in a matter of 3 days, despite the fact that we didn't have the technology, right? So as Sue was saying, everybody pitched in, it was all hands on deck. We pushed out the computers, we trained our staff, we went into survival mode, and everybody got it done because our teachers and our administrators and our coaches and paras and all of our instructional staff and all the support staff are rock stars, honestly. Is there work to be done to refine and enhance what we're doing for the fall? Absolutely, but we have a plan in place for that too. So I'm very encouraged about what's happening with that. Throughout this entire time, all of our teachers and instructional staff have been working together to provide common assured learning experiences for all of our students. What that means is that, for example, every second grade student in Torrington is experiencing the exact same instructional type of lesson. So we're talking about consistency and continuity. That's something that we were never really able to achieve before to this degree. So in some ways, this closure has actually improved our craft, as counterintuitive as that may sound. It has definitely backlit some of the concerns and some of the issues that we were aware of, and we never seemed to have the time to address. But this has forced us to be doing that right now. So I feel very confident that when we come out on the other end of this, we are all going to be so much better off as a result. We've been working toward becoming a one-to-one district for as many years as I can remember. And now, through funds made available as a result of the crisis, we're pretty darn close to getting there. And that's going to propel us forward in so many ways. Another highlight is that I feel that our home-school partnership has really been strengthened. Parents at home are engaging in the instructional process along with the teachers. They're partnering with us. A really great example is that Paula Gajewski, who is our homeschool liaison, has been working throughout this entire process, this entire closure, with families on Zoom, just like this, to register and orient our incoming kindergartners. So she's almost through the list of the kids that we know that we will be receiving as incoming kindergartners, and the stuff that she's able to do in a virtual way to make that process as welcoming and as authentic as possible is pretty darn close to amazing. She has Spanish speaking staff members working with her when necessary. So basically what I'm trying to say is this has been a huge challenge for sure, but it hasn't gotten in the way of us being able to get the job done.
Thank you. We're all set? Start on a happy note.
Yeah, Ellen got booted out. I just told her to try to log back in, see if she can get back on. But we can keep going.
I'll look out for her.
Do you want to go ahead?
Yep, go ahead.
Yep. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, let's.
You want me to say it? Or oh, okay. So I'm very pleased on these next items to be introducing our principal of Torrington High School by unanimous vote. It is Robin Ledversus. I'm going to have Kim Schulte do just a little bio on Robin.
Thank you so much. So it is my very great pleasure to congratulate Robin Ledversus on her appointment as principal for Torrington High School. Robin is a Torrington resident, and upon completion of her academic program, she completed an internship and did her student teaching right here in Torrington at Forbes Elementary School. She immediately was hired because of her excellence and was hired as a grade 4 teacher at Forbes and has been with us ever since. In 2013, she was named Torrington's Teacher of the Year. And then in 2014, she took on a leadership role at central office as a supervisor of enhancement programs and initiatives. She continued in that role for a few years. And then she did a short return to teaching. And then in 2017, she became the assistant principal for Torrington High School. Most recently, she has been the interim principal for the 2019-20 school year. She volunteers with the Elks basketball, Torrington Youth Soccer, and the YMCA board, just to name a few. She's a tremendous advocate for our students and for faculty. She's earned the trust and respect of the staff, students, and families of Torrington High School. She holds a Bachelor's of Science in Business from Bryant College and a Master of Science in Elementary Education from the University of Bridgeport. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Ledversus as she permanently takes on the leadership of our flagship school.
Yay.
Robin.
Thank you. Thank you. This is just an incredible honor. I appreciate the opportunity and appreciating and understanding the work that's happening already at Torrington High School. and that we get to continue as a team and to continue the hard work that we're putting in. It's a challenge. We love it. We embrace it. We love the kids. We love the community. I'm proud to say that our own children graduated from Torrington High School and are doing beautifully as adults. So we are super excited for the future. And again, thank you for believing in me, believing in us, and believing in what we can do. And I know we will do it together. So thank you.
So welcome, Robin. I think everyone will agree, the kids, parents, and community are lucky to have you and your devotion and commitment. So we're happy to have you a permanent member of the team.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Congratulations, Robin.
Thank you, Sue.
And I am very excited that we also have another principal who is joining us this evening. We have Brian Scott, who is joining us, and he will be the middle school principal. Once again, the vote was unanimous. Overwhelmingly, they were just so impressed with Brian and so excited that he would be joining the team. So it was wonderful to have him meet some board members the other day. And Kim, I'm going to have you give a little bio for Brian.
Great. Thank you so much. Since I know I might not get a chance to speak, I also just want to publicly thank both committees that did the work on both of these selection processes. We had stakeholders, parents, staff, everyone, and you did a great job virtually. So thank you to everyone. And as Superintendent Lebomsky said, the committee for the middle school was very impressed. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you all Mr. Brian Scott as our new principal for Torrington Middle School. Brian comes to us from Milford Public Schools, where he has held administrative positions, including assistant principal, interim principal, and instructional supervisor. Prior to Milford, he was a curriculum and instructional leader for Weston Public Schools. He taught middle school students for 12 years in Collier County Public Schools in Florida, and also taught in Westport, Connecticut. He is highly experienced in instructional coaching and building strong professional relationships. His knowledge of middle school students and his dynamic leadership style are sure to be a tremendous asset to lead our middle school. He holds 2 bachelor's degrees in business, in a Bachelor of Science in Management Systems from Everett University, and a Bachelor of Arts in History from the University of South Florida. He also holds a Master of Arts in Curriculum Instruction from the University of St. Joseph and a 6th-year degree in Administration from Sacred Heart University. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Scott to our Torrington team.
Yay.
Brian.
Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Excellent. So first off, I would really like to thank the entire committee and the board and everybody who was involved in the process. It was a bit crazy a process doing everything through Zoom meetings and virtual meetings. It was really great to actually be able to come in and meet with a few folks in person. I'm honored to become the next principal of Torrington Middle School, and I'm really excited about joining the Torrington Public Schools and the Torrington Middle School family. I've been so impressed with all of the faculty and staff that I've met so far, and I'm really looking forward to working with the staff and with all of you and the board moving forward to take on the opportunities that we have at Torrington Middle School. However, what I'm most excited about is really getting to know our students and our families as we move forward and getting to know them over the coming years.
That's great. Well, welcome. We're excited you're here.
Yes, welcome aboard. Looking forward to
Excited to be here.
So it won't always be like this. Strange thing. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll get to meet you in person. So thank you. And thank you for
Thank you.
while we were in so many executive sessions to both of you that were waiting. So we apologize for that.
No worries.
Thank you. Okay. COVID-19 update.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about, in your packet, we do have, where's the CARES Act? The CARES Act piece, I know we went over this somewhat when we talked about budget. That was the letter from the commissioner. And the next page is just a breakdown of Torrington's amount. And then the very last page is a possible proposal in terms of, hang on one sec. What's the matter?
Oh,
Ellen.
under Zoom.
Sorry, you can keep going. We're just trying to let Ellen.
Okay, can you just get to the next page before you
Oh,
do,
sorry.
Ellen? That's okay. So the next page is a possible proposal in terms of just giving you some idea of some things that we are going to need to do in terms of the use of those funds. As I've spoken about before, we still need more Chromebooks. That's even with the Dalio computers. We're still expecting 600 of those. We have a desperate need. As Sue was saying, you know, folks have done a great job with professional development, but we need so much more because we were really at the most basic of levels in terms of doing this flipped classroom and remote learning and really to become adept at it. We want to make sure that the staff has laptops as well, so docking stations. We still need to do summer school. That's been mentioned several times by the commissioner in terms of making sure that we're having consistency, particularly for our secondary students. And traditionally, we do a high school and a summer school at those levels anyway, but this will be more intensified. And then it's very important that our students are continuing their learning, even at home during the summertime. The families will be able to keep any district issued laptops, and then families who still have their own devices will obviously be able to access such programs as IXL or Lexia, or there will be a whole list that we send out to families so that we can continue the learning during the summer as well. Obviously, we will need to address the gaps, as will the rest of the state, as will the rest of the nation, as will the rest of the world, in terms of the time that we've had away, and we will be adjusting the curriculum as appropriate. Sue and her team will be working on that. Laura and her team will be working on that. This is an ongoing process. So this is just our first proposal in terms of what we may be using the CARES Act funding for. Any other things to add on any of that? Either any of you? No. Pretty straightforward.
Any questions on any of those items?
You want to talk about that? Task forces? No?
Oh, go ahead, Vic.
Can that just be emailed to us after? I don't think it was included in our packet. The where the how the intention for allocating the funds.
Breakdown. Right, and just understanding that that's a proposal, it may change or adapt, but it gives you some idea of the different layers and the different needs, which really break down into the three different areas that the commissioner was talking about in terms of the technology pieces, the social emotional, and making sure we have the professional development so that the teachers can continue with this distance learning, because we have something for that as we go into the fall.
Just one other question. I think I guess in the special meeting last week, you quoted a little bit over 1,000 Chromebooks still needed to get to a one-to-one. So with what you're, with the proposal for the CARES Act, does that get us to where we need to be?
Yeah, that does. It has it. The proposal is on this sheet. You'll see it.
Yeah.
So it's 1,300 Chromebooks at about 200 per Chromebook. And so then we should be okay. We're counting on those Dalio computers. Like I said, I know the state has had a separation with Dalio, but we've been promised that we are still getting those. So I'll keep the board posted on that.
Great, thank you.
But like I said, this is fluid. but this is a basic proposal, including those components. So
You know,
hopefully
and-
that helps.
One big component, as you'll see in there also, is those licensing. So
Yes.
as this goes on, those free licensings during this time, we're gonna have to start paying for all that stuff to be able to continue using it. So we figure this is a good opportunity, because it's almost $100,000 in licensing fees for all the programs we're using for distance learning. But in the absence of the licenses, we won't be able to utilize those programs, so. Good. Anyone have any other questions before we move on to the most current alliance? Okay, no questions? Okay, alliance proposal.
Okay, so this alliance proposal, obviously it hasn't been board approved yet. We're not even sure which amount it's going to be. If you look at the very bottom of this proposal, it has the state's adopted amount. It doesn't have the governor's recommended, just because we weren't sure whether we were getting that extra 77,000. We haven't heard anything about Alliance. We're assuming that Alliance funding will be fine, and we're just moving forward with that, but we do have to wait for the governor. When we proposed this and ran this by just our state rep, preliminarily, we wanted her to look at it before bringing this to the board. And she felt like it really reflected what the components of what the commissioner is looking for in terms of those different pieces. It really has the staffing in there and some of the materials that do move us forward. Many of these positions were already in place, but some of these you'll remember from the budget season, or hopefully, really reflect a lot of that social emotional. So you'll see the RBTs, or the registered behavior techs, as particularly at the elementary, the behavior interns. So and then the behavior is for district-wide. At Torrington High School, the behavior program, that's regular ed. Those are all pieces where we're really working on that social emotional. If you think about those buckets from the CARES Act, that's what's important also in the Alliance pieces. So obviously we would still continue with our special ed supervisors to keep those numbers going the right direction, which Laura outlined earlier in the meeting, to really have someone at grades K through 6 in intervention and academic support, making sure we have 2 folks. We have the K6 and then we have the 7-12, so that we have those supports, in particular at this time when we're really looking at what do we need for intervention, what do we need in terms of adapting the supports for our students, any data and assessment that we need to do. Sue's predominantly working on all of these things, but then the whole movement toward the curriculum and flipped classroom, and how are we making sure that we are integrating that whole technology piece. So there's a lot of things going on that level. And then Torrington Middle School, to have that guidance counselor again at the middle school, so we can have a guidance counselor for each grade level, is very, very important. Our security paras moved from the general budget, you may remember, to the Alliance for the middle school. They started out at the end of the year this year there, and that 2 wonderful folks, gentlemen who really have made a difference at the middle school. They really got along with the kids and helped with the environment, and was really positive, some really good relationships. So we'd like to continue those positions as well. And then really the mandated assessments, the professional development being really key, and something that the board approved last year. the whole social media coordinators and the marketing magazine, and making sure that we have those pieces in place, as well as more materials for those most, our youngest learners, such as phonics support for some really basic reading skills. Extended day for teachers and transportation are still in there. We're not sure how that's going to work, but we are concerned about making sure that we do have extra supports that may end up being at all levels, not just at the middle school and the high school. And even if it's just virtual, it gives us some other opportunities to make sure that we're extending those intervention opportunities for our most needy students or struggling learners. So some of it looks very familiar. There may be some new pieces in there that I just reviewed, just to give you an update. I know you've heard about them, but just to bring those out again in terms of ways that we're really rounding out our social emotional, which is going to be a huge piece, especially next year.
Does anyone have questions on this? This will obviously keep moving, and it's not even finalized, so we're not even actually sure that we're getting this money. So, but does anyone have any questions on the preliminary information? No, everybody's good? Okay, moving on.
And I'll keep giving you updates for that.
NEASC update.
Yeah, so the NEASC update, we received the letter earlier in the month, May 6th. And this was basically the letter that we were waiting for. It, in a nutshell, really gives the commendations. And so some of the commendations you already heard, the adoption of restorative discipline, the civic, which the staff worked so hard on, the development of curriculum maps, implementation of interventionist staff. Thank you to the board, because that's something that we didn't have in place before. The warm, welcoming environment, the just going on to the next page in terms of making sure that social workers are there, ESL teachers and staff to meet our ELL student needs, making sure that we are really employing or implementing 21st century learning expectations. So when you get to about the middle of the page, these are things that we have to respond to by February of next year. This is not in every NEAS report, but it is in ours. So these are things that they really want to make sure that we are focusing in on, to make sure that we are consistently providing the school's professional staff with sufficient personnel, time, and financial resources for ongoing collaborative development. And we're working on that through the master schedule. Also working on evaluation, revision of the curriculum, using assessment results. So you're really using that data. So it's really important to make sure that we have folks in place who can guide that and lead that, because the data is going to be important. It's something that we have to do for NEASC, and it's obviously something we have to do for Alliance. Engage in training on appropriate roles, responsibilities, and accountabilities for Board of Ed, building leaders, department leaders to clarify each group's contribution to the success of the school and district initiatives, and ensure that each person or group has appropriate levels of autonomy. So I think that we're well on the way to doing that. Robin spoke a little bit about all the strides that they've made so far. So some of this they've already worked very hard to achieve. To ensure that there's a dependable source of funding and a long-range plan is implemented to address programs and services, enrollment changes and staffing needs, facilities needs, technology, and capital improvements. This was something that was noted, and obviously we noted as, that's why we created a secondary ad hoc committee, because of all the facility needs and the capital improvement needs. And certainly that was something that was noted by the NEASC as well. And hopefully as we're moving toward a renovation project for secondary education in Torrington, we can address those needs. And then the next piece is, at the very last page, is really the 2-year progress report. So those will be issues that will be addressed in the report. I know that Robin has already established a team and they've been working consistently, even since the last time, since the NIAS team left. So, and that was the recommendation by Tony Gasper, who chaired the NIAS visit, that you continue to work on it. You want to continue to improve your school and enhance your craft and collaborate and work together for the best of the students and the families, so that we really can help them achieve their goals, their future plans, and really excel. So we're excited about all our different options that we're offering at the high school this year. And I think that there's many positives that are going on, which we'll be sharing in the progress reports that we have to do. And those reports will also be shared with the board.
Any questions? Any questions anyone have on the letter? No.
Not me.
Okay, monthly financials. Armin, do you want to, I think everyone was at the budget meeting, so I'm not sure. You guys just want to give an overview quick? Ed or Armin, do you want Ed to take it?
Yeah, if Ed, do you have any updates from our meeting? Has anything changed actually?
Well, as you know, this week, we close the books on May Friday, and we'll give you an update for the next budget meeting. And again, on your potential savings and exposures, we'll add another date. It'll be June 1st, and we'll update what it is. We're staying true, hopefully, to the bottom line in May 15th with downs. It's about $793,000 surplus. Again, there's a couple of things we're getting for maintenance and so forth, as you know, with the schools, and also you'll be getting an update from the May 11th update of what we've done at the schools. So we're doing that. Again, just so you know, since the weather has been beautiful, the roofer has been working constantly, and he's ahead of schedule. We did find one little problem, but we have money in the budget because we have a contingency, and we're working that out through, and it'll be done earlier than we anticipated, which will be great.
Thank you.
Any questions? 2019-2020 budget update. So as we discussed earlier, they'll be setting the mill rate next week. So we're going to have to get a meeting on our calendar for after they set the mill rate so we can finalize our budget. So I'm thinking probably the following week, only because central office will probably need to put together some proposals for us. I apologize, my brain went there. So if you're available the following Monday, which would be June, sorry. Yeah, 8th, June 8th. So if you can just email me and let me know your availability, and we'll see if we have a quorum, and if not, we'll look for another date. So that's really the only update we have for tonight. So thank you. 2020, 2021 capital and capital technology budget.
We haven't heard anything. We submitted it to the Board of Finance and the mayor. We're just waiting.
Right, so we'll discuss that as well at our next meeting. Adult education PEP grant.
So the PEP grant we've done for a number of years. This is just a renewal, if you will, of the application. We're excited about this program because it's a 2-generational program. So it helps our students birth to 5 before they come to school, as well as our parents. And so it gives our parents an opportunity to learn how to work with their children and really help their children at a very, very young age. We do have home visits, we have translators, we also have job opportunities for those families within Torrington. And so it's a great way for people to feel very productive and to learn some parenting skills. So it really covers a wide base, and this group is a nice support group for each other, as well as learning some really excellent life skills. So we'd like to continue that grant again, and it's funding that we don't have to match. We just do in kind, where we're offering building space. And if we have to, we'll just do it virtually, which is fine.
Any questions on the PEP grant? Okay. Torrington High School Building Committee update. So once we get through the budget in the next couple of weeks, we'll schedule an additional meeting where we'll just talk about the timeline, referendum, date. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here. So we did get a quote, so it will be $10,000 to run a single school referendum. 30,000 had been put out, but it's actually 10,000 to do that single building referendum. But we'll have more to come on this. We're looking for people for the building committee right now. We have to still go before planning and zoning and the Board of Finance to set a referendum date. So this will be ongoing, and we'll provide information as it becomes available.
Just a
Go ahead.
couple things. We set up a meeting with the state on June 3rd. We're going to Zoom that meeting in, let them know where we are, because we met with them twice already. So this is, the architects will be here, we'll Zoom that, and we're all set with June 10th for the planning and zoning.
Thank you. Any questions on any of that? No? Okay.
I do real quick,
Hi, Jess.
because they named the board as the building committee, right? So does that mean that when we meet in June, we're going to talk about who else, like what that's going to look like?
Yep.
Okay.
But until it gets through planning and zoning and Board of Finance with the referendum, then so they're keeping track with everything that needs to be done with the state. And then we'll talk about the committee when we meet. Hopefully right after, if we can get through our budget, then focus solely on that for the next, a special meeting. I wouldn't do it with the regular meeting, but have a special meeting just to talk about this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? We already discussed 2020-21 budget, food drive. So Friday food is continuing. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody that's been volunteering, all of the board members that have really stepped up, getting their certification, showing up there, distributing food, collecting food. Administration helped out last week with some distribution, and all the organizing all of our packets that we were able to give to over 200 families. I'm greatly appreciative, and I hope that people will continue to support the food drive as quickly as we're collecting it. It's being dispersed into the community, and it's difficult to keep the shelves full. So if you are around on Friday from 12 to 3, please consider supporting the food drive. All of the donations are staying local. They're going to the shelters and the food banks within Torrington. So if you can support it, please do. Committee reports, budget, we already discussed. Facility and Technology Committee. Molly, did you have anything you wanted to?
Yeah, just a quick update. We discussed the building maintenance and the current update of the custodial and maintenance at the buildings. Since the schools have been sheltered in March, our custodians and John himself have been working incredibly hard in these buildings, getting things done. The list that is in our packet tonight is just the beginning of the work that they've done. We'll continue to get an updated list each month. For example, I went and every month as part of this committee, I want to tour a building, one of our public schools. And in March, just before we closed schools, I was able to tour Torrington Middle School. And I did a slideshow presentation at our meeting and kind of showed some of the things that I felt needed to be done and repaired. Since then, a lot of those things that I pointed out from March, John and his custodial staff have already jumped on and made improvements too. So I just want to say thank you, John, and to all the custodians. What incredible work you guys are doing while these schools are closed. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from anybody? I think everybody was at that meeting too. No questions? Okay, moving along. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the monthly financials.
So moved, Armin.
Do I have a second?
Second, Gary.
Gary, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Entertain a motion to approve the reduction in force.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Nikki is opposed. Everyone else is in favor?
I abstain.
Okay, sorry, Kathy is abstained. Armin. Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the retirement incentive extension through June 8th.
So moved, Armin.
Second, Kisco.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Entertain a motion to approve the MOU with Local 1579.
So moved.
We all did.
Okay, I just need one person.
Yes.
Gary.
Gary.
All
Who's
those in
in a second?
Just moved it, Gary second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Entertain a motion to approve the non-union contracts as presented.
So moved, Armin.
Second.
Kisco.
Second.
Kisco.
Kathy.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Okay. Gary and Ed, are you guys in favor or opposed?
After a little agonizing, I'm in favor.
I'm in favor. I'm sorry. I thought you heard me.
Okay, great. Thank you. So do you have that?
Yep, got it.
I just wanted them to see it before it went, in case it went to Board of Finance, that's all.
So I'm going to remove item 13F because there isn't action for us to take on that yet. I'm going to remove item 13G. And I'm going to remove item 13H.
Okay.
Yep. That's down farther.
All right.
Okay, so entertain a motion to approve the Board of Education meeting minutes, April 22nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second, Armin.
Who was first?
Kisco.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous?
No, I abstained, Fiona. I left the meeting early.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
That's
Molly's.
okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the Board of Ed special meeting minutes of April 28th, 2020.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, give me a name.
Armand first, Gary second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Entertain a motion to receive the subcommittee minutes of the Budget Committee of April 15th, 2020, and Facilities and Technology Committee of March 4th. We are not receiving the special budget of May 20th. Can I get a motion on that?
So moved, Armin.
Second, Molly.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Molly, John, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Entertain a motion to approve the Adult Ed PEP grant.
So moved, Armin.
Second, Kisco. Or whoever.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I got you, Kathy, this time.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, comments for good of the order. Ellen, you're on the top.
Oh, hi. I missed the whole part with the principals. So I'm sorry. Congratulations. I just can't believe what central office or you guys got done with the teachers and everyone. I'm just, it's just unbelievable all the hours you put in, and Fiona also, to get all this stuff done. So I'm very, very appreciative.
Armand, you're the next square.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that. I thank everybody from, from the superintendent on down, in all the areas. Continue the hard work. It pays off in the short term and the long term with all our students. So keep going and thank you.
Thank you. Jess.
Do you guys know that everybody's squares are in different places on different screens?
Yep.
They won't be on
Yes,
your
it
tab,
is.
it may not be on my tab. It's just funny.
Everybody's different Brady Bunch.
Right. Other than that, completely inane. I don't have anything else to go what Armin said.
Molly.
Yep, sorry. Just, I want to say thank you again to Central Office. I know I say it every month, but the amount of work that you guys have put in is absolutely incredible. And I mean, unprecedented times, this online learning thing as a parent, I'm telling you, it's difficult to imagine. I can't imagine what it's like on your end and the teachers. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to you and all the staff, teachers as well, for all your hard work right now. And also big thank you to everybody who's been helping with the food drives. I've actually had a couple parents reach out to me who have benefited from the food drive that we've been doing. And I mean, it brings tears to my eyes to think that any of our families are in the position that they're in right now where they need this. But thank you to everybody who's been doing it. It's absolutely incredible. The hard work and the donations that come in, the trunkfuls of food from members of our community. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you again to everybody who have participated in that, and our community who've donated. I'm speechless. Thank you.
Nikki.
I want to, echo what everybody else has said, and just thank the superintendent. You did a phenomenal job last week at the meeting with the City Council and Board of Finance around the renovations for the high school. I felt like the presentation was just very, very well done, and thank you, Fiona, for stepping in when needed. And then just thinking about all the teachers this week, I know they started to go back to school to start cleaning out their classrooms, and I can just imagine how hard it is for each and every one of them with you know, having to kind of end the year this way. So just thinking of them all.
Kathy.
I'll just echo everything everyone else has said. Just many thanks to everybody who is involved in this process. I know it's a lot of hard work, and I feel for my teacher colleagues and friends who are all going through really tough times right now. I know how hard it is closing up those classrooms during regular, situations, and this has certainly been very difficult for them. And I wish them all well as they do that. I'm thinking of our kids and how sad it is for them that they're not going to have those end of the year celebrations. So I want to thank them for being patient as well, and just working really hard at home, and the parents who are also. And then on a happy note, just congratulations to Robin and to Brian as they start this new exciting part, in their lives. Robin certainly has been at Torrington High, but now she gets to take the interim away. So that's such a plus for her. And I think Brian will be a wonderful addition to our school community as well. So congratulations to them.
John.
Also, congratulations to Brian and Robin. I have great expectations and expect success in each case. Also, continued respect and admiration for the staff, central office and building and teachers, everyone who's just going through this and making it work as best they can. And sometimes that's very good. Certainly central office is working very hard. And my last point is, what's that FEMA address for overtime for COVID? Because I think I'm putting in. That's it. Thanks.
Gary.
I thank congratulations to our two new principals. To echo the comments or the thoughts of the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, never ever give up on America. Our people, because of our people, and it shows with our teachers, our administrators, and everyone else involved. They just, whenever things are tough and rough and bad, the best comes out in people, and it has. Thank you.
Ed.
I just want to plug the food drive again. I'm really proud of our community for what we've been able to do for the last few weeks, but unfortunately the need never quite stops, especially in times like this. And so I'm hoping everybody can come along again. And just to add a couple things to your shopping list. It's hard to see the need and know, especially that some of the folks who come to pick up some food could certainly use more. You can see it in their face as they try to figure out how they're going to stretch it. And so as somebody who has eaten food from food banks more than once in my life, especially as a child, I'm just hoping everybody can keep it going and come along again on Friday to help a few more folks out in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone from the central office have anything?
I just want to thank all of the board members who are participating in these food drives. It is really amazing. These last few times have been very hot. So we really appreciate you being out there, appreciate your muscle, appreciate Fiona for coordinating all of that. And I just want to give a shout out to all of our parents, because as Nikki was saying, yes, I think it has been incredibly challenging for them as well. And so we so appreciate all of you parents being out there and being partners with us through this crazy journey and roller coaster of a time. So I know that our principals are working on special celebrations and ways to kind of end and have closures. They're working with their staff. So that is important. So I'll be posting, letting you know what the next steps are for that in our last few weeks. Thank you.
Okay, I also want to just welcome the principals. It's nice that we're kind of filling in all the pieces of things that have been a little chaotic for some time. And I strongly believe the best is yet to come for our district. So looking forward to all that is coming next. Items for upcoming agenda, monthly financials, We'll have the 2020, 2021 budget, Torrington High School renovation. Anything else?
Well, we'll be on the next budget meeting. It'll be talk about the lunch program, and also the bids will be in for the copier.
Mm-hmm.
Future meetings will be determined on an as-needed basis. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Armin.
Oh, John.
Not fast.
Second? Done. John will second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
We are
Hey, John.
Thank you.
John, I
Right.
like your School of Athens there.
Hey, Raphael, giving him a shout out.
Give a shout out to Raphael.